I ain't hungry. First, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving.
Hurt takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
When that cage opens up again, our teeth are snarling. We're drooling. We're ready. We're hungry, ready to hunt again.
Dallas. We hate you. Race is snow. The Eagles train to go. The Eagles win.
And again, and again, and again.
It ain't about them. It's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us. I promise you.
What is up, my Brus, my bird Brus? We are back. It's another Speaking Birds. It's your boy Speaks. The Eagles beat the Carolina Panthers 22-16 to move to 11-2. It was a nail biter, and I got to be honest, feels kind of like a loss. We're joined here. We got the crew back together. Got John Clayton. John and Clayton, what's up, fellas?
What's going on? How we doing?
What's up? Good to be back.
Doing all right. How we feeling, guys? How we feeling about this victory? Question mark?
It's a victory. Another slow start. First drive, pathetic. A win's a win. I don't want to be too negative, but kind of ugly.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Yeah, it seems sloppy. I mean, look, the Carolina Panthers were 3-9 going into this game. You're at home. At this point in the season, you should be firing on all cylinders. And I don't know, the offense, it looks stale, looks stagnant. I mean, Hurts. We can get into it later, but yeah, it just felt, I don't know, felt like a loss. It's all around. Doesn't feel good. Yeah,
Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'll take a win. I mean, to win 9 straight, it's not an easy thing to do. So let's just keep that in perspective here. Having said that, this team came out today with 0 effort. And I'm not Mr. Style Points. I have been critical of that shit in the past, but I said after the Browns game, I'm done with that. What I care about is effort, and I did not see a lot of effort today. There were a few players that played with effort, but for the most part, this team was flat. And even the stadium was flat the entire game, which makes me pissed off at the fans just as much as I'm pissed off at my team. You guys fucking phoned it in too, you pussies. Yeah. Anybody that was in that stand today, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have been fueling this team, helping them, because they were flat and they needed it. There was no life in this team whatsoever, and it showed. I mean, that was a very uninspired. They sleepwalked through that game.
Yeah, is it just like a sleepy, kind of like early December game where just the fans are asleep, the team is asleep? I mean, it didn't seem like, I don't know, did we play down to the Panthers? It seemed like they were playing well too.
Absolutely played down. Passing game was non-existent today, really.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, look, I am redoing. Yeah, I see what you mean. We got the replay going. Yeah, AJ Brown is wide open. I mean, Smith catches the touchdown. Same thing as the Calcaterra touchdown later in the game where AJ Brown's wide open. We can get to him as well, but I have to temper my expectations a bit. I think. I mean, I have to be realistic here. This is probably the way we're playing, the way our offense is playing. I mean, this is a wild card team. I wouldn't be surprised if this team gets bounced in the wild card round. If I'm being honest here, I don't know. Maybe that's being too negative, but I don't like Hurts is holding this team back. And I know we've said we're riding with our guys. It is what it is, but I don't know, dude. He doesn't look natural out there. Am I being too rough?
I don't think he's seeing the field real great as a quarterback. Obviously, he's got big boys in front of him, but he's just not seeing it. Couple plays this game, one was like a comeback with Dotson. If he hits Dotson right away, in his break, sure, it's a first down. But he waits and he's looking at him all day, throws it. Dotson comes back and it's blocked out by the corner. So I don't know.
Yeah. It felt like one of these, like like last year's win, where it's like, yeah, we shouldn't have really won that game, but we found a way. It doesn't feel good. And to be at this stage in the season where you're having wins like that, oh boy, sky's falling, guys. It's my the sky's
I don't
falling.
think that. I don't think the
Well, then
sky's falling. It's just an ugly game.
Yeah, but I don't know. Then there's rumblings like AJ Brown's not happy. Post game, he's getting asked questions. What's wrong with the offense? One word answer is passing. Hey, not getting you the ball early. Does that factor into you not getting in rhythm? Certainly so. Like, he's not happy.
Well, 100%.
I mean,
like, of course you're not getting in a rhythm when they're not getting you the ball. You're the biggest playmaker on the team besides Quan.
I mean, it's absolutely asinine that, okay, but before they get the interception and they started going to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, combined 2 targets throughout the first half before that interception. That's insane. Like, you have to try to be that inefficient. I mean, look, you have AJ Brown. Feed him the ball. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard. I don't care if you go 3 and out and incomplete this, incomplete that. You got to throw him the ball. And here's my
100%.
hot take. Here's my hot take. If you're not getting him involved, let's trade him. Let's trade him. Get some return. Look, if you're not going to even utilize him, just trade him. Get rid of him. If you don't want to use him, get rid of him. Get some return. Get rid of the guy. I mean, I love AJ Brown. Don't get me wrong.
Though?
I don't know, a draft pick. I mean, in the offseason, if you're not going to use him.
Unless you're using that draft pick on a quarterback, I mean, and then that defeats the whole purpose of getting rid of him. I mean, that's what it's been.
No,
Yeah.
I'm being off my rocker. I don't think we should get rid of him.
I mean, honestly, I'm not panicking at all. Today was a bad game for the entire team. There was a few players that had, decent performances. I'll just shout out CJ. I mean, that guy's a fucking warrior, and he was the only good one out there. But I mean, beyond that, everybody was terrible. The receivers had a good game, but if you don't have a quarterback, if your quarterback's in the toilet, he's not going to get the ball to him. And I don't know what today was. I know last week. So let's just rewind a second. Last week, people were kind of killing Hurts because of the stat line, and that's again one of those things where if you're looking at the stat line, you're not going to understand Jalen Hurts. You're not going to understand how the game went because it's not going to be indicative of what actually went down in that game. Jalen Hurts managed that game last week and was a big reason that we won that game. Took care of the ball. He made plays with his legs and his arms when he had to in crucial spots, and we won that game. And that was a playoff type of game. And those are the type of games that it will be with this team when we make it into the playoffs. They're going to be grimy, grind it out, we're going to out-physical you to the end. Fast forward to today. That was not the team that showed up today. That was not a physical team that showed up today. What we've seen the last 7-8 weeks did not show up. That was not the team that stepped out on the field today. The quarterback was not the same quarterback that he's been the last 6-7 weeks, 8 weeks here. This was a down game for everybody. And that's where I'm at with it. Like I'm not the sky's not falling. I think we're going to handle business next week. But, yeah, it's concerning to see a letdown game like this far into the season and to see the offense look that inept to where it was like you guys couldn't do shit. And this is the worst defense in the league. This should be a layup game. And you come out and you look like that. Like you're not – I get you're playing a trash team that means nothing. But, man, I thought this team's mentality – I honestly didn't think they would fall into a trap game. So when people were talking that, it was like the furthest thing from my mind. I was like, shut the hell up, dude. Get the hell out of here. There's no way this team falls into a trap game. They fucking did. They escaped the trap today. It looked like a trap game. They played down to their opponent. They had zero effort. They had zero fire. They were flat. And now they're fucking, starting to backbite each other because of the inepts on offense. Your star player in AJ is getting pissed. Devontae Smith, they're sitting on the bench fucking bitching about Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, I get it. I completely get it. But it's 1 week. If this happens next week, if we go in to the link next week and we're playing the best team left on our schedule, if these motherfuckers can't get up for this game, then I'm concerned. Then I'll start sounding alarms and stuff. Like the sky may start falling, but for right now, I'm chalking this up to we played down to an opponent. This was in fact a trap game. We almost fell into that trap. We escaped
This
it. It looked like shit. Move on.
this was our fake loss week, right?
Well, that's
Yeah.
there's a couple different directions I wanted to go, but we talked about it. Like, I know we've all messaged about it, but like this like sort of like a loss thing. Like, is this team burned out from just like the 8-game win streak, 9-game win streak? Like, could this act as maybe like a week off where we escaped? Like, is this the loss, quote unquote?
I just think this is our fake loss week, and maybe we dial back in after this week. You know what I mean?
Maybe it serves the purpose of an actual
like
loss
this.
without being one.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wake up call. If this isn't a wake up call, then I don't know what the fuck. You're gonna have to actually drop one to these trash teams that we play down the schedule here. I mean, Washington's not really trash, but the fucking Cowboys and the Giants are definitely trash. Seen what the Giants did today. Freaking
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, Pittsburgh's the only team left. So if you can't get up and stay up and you're going to play down to your opponent, they're going to drop one of these games here down the stretch. You can't do what you did today and escape every time, even against a trash team, which, you know, at least 2 of the last 4 are trash teams for sure. And I'm still not sold on Washington. So,
And I was in a bar Friday where they were hyping the Steelers like they're the best shit on fucking toast, and they said the Eagles were smoking mirrors.
Well,
you can't have the number 1 defense in the league and be a smoke and mirror team. Like, come on.
And the number 3 offense in the league.
Yeah, like that's not smoke and mirrors. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you tell me you
blew
don't
my
know
mind.
anything about football without telling
yeah,
me, you know?
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
well, let me ask you this, Clayton. You brought up, okay, against the Ravens, playoff environment, you grind it out. You know, he managed the game. Like, is that going to be good enough? And I won't even say Detroit anymore because I don't even think we're in that league. I think we're maybe against the Vikings, like against it, like the Vikings, which I mean, they're a great team too. Is being a game manager and grinding it out going to be enough? Like, if we can't score or move the ball in the first quarter, halfway through the second quarter, and they put up 14, I mean, we're going to be digging out of a 14-point hole. Like, is it going to be good enough?
It all depends on what Jalen shows up that day. The Jalen that showed up today, no, it's not going to be good enough. That Jalen was scared to throw the football, was indecisive, wasn't seeing. If he was seeing it, I don't know what he was seeing. I'm just going to go, say that he wasn't seeing the field for what was happening out there. So I have no idea what Jalen was today, like who that guy was, because that's not the quarterback that we normally see out there. Yes, he does hold the ball a long time. Yes, he doesn't throw with anticipation. This is shit we knew coming in. But today it was really bad. And if that quarterback shows up in a game that we drop down 14, 17 points, no, we're not going to be able to run our way out of that. We're not going to be able to physical our way out of that. We're going to have to rely on taking shots down the field. Now, we have the personnel to do that. We have the line to do it. We have the receivers to do it. It's just, will the quarterback be able to do it? And that's at this point, it's a question. You have to seriously question it, because he hasn't been blowing the doors off of the passing game all season, and I've been chalking it up to maybe he doesn't need to. We don't need to. We haven't had to. But today it was like it was there for the taking, and he just wasn't pulling the trigger whatsoever. We should have blown this team out. Our starters and everybody should have been off the field starting of that fourth quarter. That's how far ahead we should have been with all the throws that were open that were missed. And we weren't. So we were struggling. It came down to the last second where we thought at 44 seconds, they just scored a touchdown on us. Thank God we have 2 timeouts, and maybe we can count on Jake Elliott to fucking make one. I mean, that's where we were at one point in this game. And then it got called an incomplete pass, and we shut them down on 4th down, and that's it. That was game. But it should have never been that close. The game should have been over by the 4th quarter, and it wasn't. And that's a lot of that is on Jalen. The entire team is culpable, head to toe. Everybody's culpable. Nobody looked great except for a few players. But as a whole, if we roll into the playoffs and we show up like we did today, flat, the quarterback's trash, no, it doesn't matter who we play. It could be Detroit.
Yeah.
It could be the 7th seed. they're going to stomp a mud hole in us. It's going to look like Tampa did to us last year. So I don't know. This is the first time that I've been worried about Jalen since the bye, and I'm going to chalk it up to it was a bad game. Everybody has bad games, dude. Everybody has a bad day. I'm going to chalk it up to that until I see it.
I want to say this though too, Clayton. Like, I'm tired. I'm sick of fucking seeing it. Like, we're getting held on defense.
Oh God.
Like you've never seen in your entire lifetime. Like, I could put a highlight reel out there. Like, people don't. You'd never see this. It's egregious. Like crazy. It's like, how can you play defense when you're being illegally played against? You know what I mean?
And the worst part is they're doing it to our best players. So it's a conscious decision.
So
and
you're not even that good.
It.
You're not even that good, and you continue to move the ball down the field, but you're just not that good at doing it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
right.
There's no, unless they're like I was saying during the game, unless they throw a flag to let these motherfuckers know that it's not okay. If I was the dude holding, I would just keep holding and get even more egregious with it. It's like they're not calling it. I might as well just tackle this guy. And at some points, our guys were getting tackled. Our defensive linemen were getting tackled to the ground on a couple plays. No, nothing called. It just blows my mind.
Cooper DeJean was held in one play on a nickel blitz.
On a blitz. Yep. I was hoping, because the Ravens game was so egregious, specifically on Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
That would be a point of emphasis for this officiating crew this game, to watch the front line, or at least watch Carter. No, Carter's still getting held just as egregious, and they're holding other players on the line too. Nolan Smith was getting held.
I will say this, that they didn't call our guys for holding pretty much at all. So I guess that's the.
And what was the first
even
hold?
Keel, maybe.
The first hold of the game was on Lane Johnson, and that was such bullshit. And I was like, oh, maybe they're actually going to call holding tight. And then they didn't call another one, offensive or like lineman holding, the rest of the game. It was all like defensive backs holding. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, I don't know how you expect these guys to play up front if they're just allowed to be mauled like that. Like, you're not going to call the foul. What the fuck are we doing here? Why is it even a rule?
You know, the last time the officiating crew got together, the NFL made some changes. When everyone started complaining about the brotherly shove, the tush push, remember that? For like a week, the week after, everyone's like, they're moving off sides before the snap. There's like 4 flags when we tried to run it last season. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they tried getting us for lining up like in the neutral zone on it too. Like, they were trying to sabotage that play because it became a point of emphasis. But they won't do the same for us when it's obvious that we're being held. No, they won't make it a point of emphasis to watch that. And dude, like I said, just throw the flag once or twice. That shit will clean itself up. They will stop doing that. You lose 10, 20 yards in crucial spots, you're going to stop holding.
Yeah, I wonder.
I'm going to tell you what.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you what. If I'm an offensive lineman and they're just letting us get away with that shit, like just dragging people to the ground, fucking whatever. Let's say we're running to the right. I'm getting my hands in somebody's pads on the right side, on the outside. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I'm just gonna get fucking crazy with it.
Why wouldn't you? You're not gonna get called.
What kind of like egregious things could like Jalen Carter start doing again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just start grabbing him by the face mask.
Who knows? And I think he said something to somebody today, and then the guy. This was like 5 seconds after the play. The guy levels him right in front of the ref, and there's no personal foul. I was like, what? What? Like, come on, man. You're not going to call that. Like,
I think he's handled himself pretty well, like in terms of
I'm
like
appreciative of how well he's handled himself. I really do, because I know he's furious.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys seen, he was asked about it in the locker room this week, and he's like, his attitude was perfect on it. He was like, if they don't see it, they don't see it, and there's nothing I can do about it, and it's on to the next play, He's like, that's all you can do. Like you just gotta go to the next play. You can't.
Somebody's out there coaching them on how to be.
Which I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want him
that's
out
the
there
guy.
bitching to the.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
like you
sick of
said,
seeing it, dude. It's actually it's starting to get infuriating. Like I wasn't too pissed about it last week, Obviously it was egregious, and then you start to go this week, and I'm just like, dude, I'm starting to get fucking pissed off about it. It bothers me.
I think
It's
we have
not
to weather
fair.
the storm. I think we have to weather the storm. I think once we come to like the playoffs and these nationally televised games, I mean the thing the NFL hates the most is a black eye on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think the national media is talking about it enough. But once this stuff is in the national spotlight, I think they'll have to clean it up. I don't know. You think?
Or
I
they're
think
gonna look
Clayton
like
hit.
shit.
I think Clayton hit the nail on the head. I think last pond or whatever. It's like his name's just trashed from what happened.
Yeah, he's not getting deference right now at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you think that really? I mean, I know what you're saying, but do you think that really carries over to like an officiating crew on a random Sunday? They're not giving him the call
I
because
do.
of his past. And I know he's
Yeah.
got.
It's not only his past, he's a younger player too, and that's it. Veterans will get deference over rookies, and
Uh-huh.
that's just going to happen. And I ask any former player, any coach, any official, they'll say it. There's going to be a little more wiggle room for a vet than there is for a rookie, and that's just the way it is. Like Myles Garrett's going to get away with shit that Nolan Smith is not going to get away with, and that's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But at some point, I mean, you have to, if it's egregious like that, you have to
Blatant.
throw the
It's
flag.
blatant.
Yeah, man, you have
blatant.
to throw the flag. Like I get he's not, you know, a vetted veteran yet, or he's not been in the league for 3-5 years. He had
It's
some
not just
bullshit
him
coming
though.
in.
It's
Yeah,
not
and that's
just
it.
him
It's
though.
it's up and down the line. Milton was getting held today too.
Deshaun had a bad one.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is there, but it takes joy out of watching the game because I seriously start fucking getting furious, like screaming furious at the screen.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, like you said, just call one. I mean, just to let
Please.
us know that you even have the flag in your pocket for these situations.
I
You know,
guess
it's like-
I guess for today, the only thing is that they're just not calling it on them either. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
don't feel like our O line
But
is
they don't have a
holding that
player as
much.
dominant as Carter. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't feel like our O line is holding that much. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's just
sure.
it. It's not egregious like that. Like, because they don't have beasts rolling through that that we're having to deal with. Like Carter rolling through the line like he does, you almost have to hold the son of a bitch or else he's gonna get through every single time. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
He knifes and when he is getting held, he knifes through sometimes and still gets back there.
Man, I just saw a hold right now. Maybe the NFL is preserving their product. They're like, if this guy gets through, that's going to be the ball game. Is just watching 15 sacks and no passing.
This guy's gonna live in their backfield, and that it will. I mean, I know. Actually, I don't know if the Steelers have a good line, but I know we're not facing a murderer's row of lines coming up, dude. So he's gonna have some chances to feast some more, and I just hope that they start calling it before we get into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess on the positive
Even-
note. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
No, even if they do, I think you got to start calling it in the playoffs. You're going to have your best reffing crew out there in the playoffs. It's like, dude, if you're not calling it then, you're just
Yeah, you're gonna get
it's
slayed
fixed. It's fixed. It's fixed.
because you'll have all
Yeah.
the talking heads seeing it at that point, and they're
Yep.
gonna start talking about it
I
too.
mean, the
And
talking
that's-
heads are already talking about it.
Are they? I haven't even seen anything on them. I just see like the local guys talking about it. Like Barrett was talking about it.
Seth Joyner was
Jaws.
all over it.
Yeah, Seth Joyner was furious about it.
He's going to be furious about it again, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And
It's
rightly
not,
so.
it's not right.
Maybe we should construct a strongly worded email to the NFL officiating
Yeah.
crew on behalf of the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while we're getting everything out here, while we're kind of having a little exorcism of sorts, Jake Elliott. What to do about this man? So he misses from what was it, a 54?
Yeah.
Trash. It's time to get
54.
a new kicker.
Missed
But we're not gonna
missed
get
an
it.
extra point.
We're not going to get it this year. So we're gonna have to ride him.
I don't know who's out there. Who's out there?
Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. So one caveat to that. So one of the beat reporters I was listening to on my way back down here said it was kind of cold and it was windy on the field. Still, no excuse. He makes that shit all the time, like he used to. What I personally would do is I would bring in some kickers and work them out.
Oh yeah,
just so
Just
he
as a-
knows.
yeah.
Like, hey, motherfucker, like we're riding with you, but it's not fucking on. It's not 100% certain. Like, you keep missing shit, and you're gonna cost us when we need it, like in the playoffs. So if we bring somebody in and they're just slaying it, even
Oh,
with your
yeah.
big ass contract, dude, like you're not uncuttable.
Yeah, get a guy on speed dial. Get a guy
Yeah,
on
what's that
speed
one?
dial.
What's that one dude, Clayton? I don't know if you know this guy. I feel like he was with Atlanta. He would wear like rec specs.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? He continues to put out videos on like Instagram and shit where he's like kicking 50s and 40-yarders, even maybe like 60s
Jesus.
until he gets back in the league. I don't know the guy's name or whatever, but you know, maybe
Yeah.
that's the guy you try out.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yes, that's it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
Rodrigo.
That's
man,
it, dude.
Rodrigo. Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
bring him in. Bring him in.
Dude, he puts out videos pretty much on the daily.
Get him in here. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, man. Like I'm dead ass serious. I want Elliott to start sweating here. Get it fixed, man. Like I know you've done a lot for us, but it's like a golfer losing his swing, man. This shit happens. It gets in your head, and some of
100%.
these
It's
kickers,
in
man.
his head.
We've seen kickers that were like they like over a 2-year span. They fold up to the like most accurate kicker in the league, and then lose it and be out of the league in a year and never heard from again. That's how quick this shit can change, man. It's mental. And if he's losing it mentally, and I mean, obviously the coach didn't put a lot
He's
of confidence
lost it.
in him today.
He's lost it, dude.
I mean, when you take the penalty and then punt the ball rather than trying the long field goal to go up, more than a touchdown, it's got to say something to you as a kicker. It would say something to me as a player. Like, geez, okay, they don't even want me. They don't want me touching the field again. They'd rather take a penalty and punt it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, if we're at the point where we can't even like trust you to do your job out there on Sunday, then I don't
What are
know.
we
Thanks
doing?
for everything. Yeah, thanks for everything, man. But like, there's the door. I mean, like, if there's any other option, I think we have to explore it. Maybe we're stuck with him, but
Yeah,
I
and don't
know.
get me wrong. Like, I'm not an unloyal prick here. I'm just saying, like, this is a business, man, and we need, this is a year that we need to take advantage of. And if it comes down to a big kick that's
That was
going to
the
be
whole-
51 yards, and you have zero faith in your kicker, trotting out there and sinking it, that's a problem, man, for a playoff team, for a Super Bowl contender. That's a serious problem to have.
Oh yeah. And you got one job, right? I mean,
Exactly.
okay, you're Jalen Hurts, you're down in one area, but you're doing other stuff, winning games. Like, Elliot, you have one job to kick field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look,
you don't even kick off.
I mean, I get it. You're kicking into a 3-foot net.
Yeah.
Well,
I
John
don't
said something during the game that I didn't even think about, but I would almost try it. Let Braden Mann take a shot at one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
Dude,
that.
Yeah,
he
I
kicks
did say
off,
that. I did
he
say
kicks
that.
off. He does all the kickoff duty. The only thing Jake Elliott does is place kick. He does nothing else in the kicking game. Braden Mann does every single thing else, and he's the holder.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I say let the son of a bitch try one if we can't trust Jake.
Man,
Especially one of these 50-yarders.
Yeah, why not? I want to see it.
You're going to miss it anyway.
Exactly. What are you losing,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like completely giving up on the guy. Could you imagine it's like a 23-yard field goal? Here comes man. Like,
Trotting man out.
I mean, you're done.
Like,
Yeah,
whoa,
you're
what?
done. Yeah, you're done, man. Elliot, you're done. Go to the locker room. Your tenure here has finished.
Hit the showers,
Yeah.
pal. You're out.
And don't come back. All right. We don't care.
Chicken Little. We should have kept Cameron Dicker, man. I knew it. That's one of those things I never said out loud, but man, in my gut, I know no one's gonna believe me, but in my gut, I was like, man, we should keep Dicker. He's a hot hand.
He's still a hot hand, man.
I know.
Dicker the kicker is still killing it.
Man, All right. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to just root for. What is he? What are with these athletes? Should we give him the Trey Turner standing ovation? So
Yeah.
his mentality, his soft mentality, can come
No,
around.
no,
No.
I just don't think he
God.
has it anymore, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, I know, like, maybe I said this on a couple pods before that, but Clayton was always saying about how good he was, and again, he was great. Don't get me wrong, but the
Man,
year
Clayton
after
taking a
they
random
won,
stray here.
yeah, he's gonna take a stray. I'm gonna fucking point this out. The year after 2017, when we won the Super Bowl, he wrote a book and just went on a world tour.
Yeah, I think it was terrible that next
Yeah,
year.
the next year he was fucking awful, awful.
Oh my
So-
god! Did he really write a book?
Yeah, he wrote a book and went on a tour, and
Oh
then
my god!
2018
I
he was
gotta read this. I gotta read
fucking
it.
terrible.
I gotta read it. Get into the mind of a maniac.
Phew.
Yeah, I'll download that on my Kindle.
Yeah. On your Fire, Amazon Fire.
On my Kindle. Well, it's not all bad, guys. Saquon Barkley is the franchise leading rusher season
Good
rusher.
for him.
Love it.
I don't think they fed him enough, to be honest.
Was he still on pace? What's his pace now? I think he was a little down. Doesn't he need like 121.2 a game?
Well, I
Was
think
he
he got
at-
120. I thought it was 125. I thought he got 120. I'm not sure exactly what he got.
Okay.
But I do feel like he was running the ball
124.
well. Okay, 124. And
Yeah.
just
He was averaging 6 yards a carry. I mean,
yeah, I mean
and he didn't have a huge break off like he normally does to pad that. So he was actually legit like averaging 6 yards. It wasn't
yeah,
just
exactly.
it wasn't like a few short one, a huge 50-yard, 70-yard.
Mm-hmm.
It was all like, pretty consistently like 6, 7, 8, 9, few short ones.
Yeah. So I was kind of sad to see McCoy getting bumped. Harrisburg kid, but it's a good thing.
If you watch any of the McCoy stuff during the week, he wanted Saquon Barkley to break his record.
Yeah. Well, he's a good
Yeah.
guy.
I
Good
like
dude.
Shady McCoy so much better in the post retirement years, and I know Clayton said that earlier, but McCoy is all about the Eagles, which I love.
Yeah, and it just goes on like national
He's always
TV and
he's always fighting for him. So I love that.
yeah.
Which
yeah,
another
she's-
thing I want to mention is I think Bishop McDevitt is in the they're playing for states in high school football.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. They're supposed to be
That's
pretty
nice.
good.
Well, good for them. They're always kind of like mingling around that championship game, right? Aren't they?
Well, yeah. Harrisburg's usually pretty good. Bishop McDevitt. Bishop McDevitt can always kind of recruit. Being a private school can be
Right.
a little beneficial to them.
Yeah. Guys, do you want to hear what I made? What I made for the meal?
Yeah.
Look at this. I man,
Carolina, a little Carolina barbecue.
hopped back in it. Yeah, did a little Carolina barbecue. I made a mustard Carolina BBQ. That was pretty fire. Yeah. Yeah, so you mustard, brown sugar, honey. Then you get your
Vinegar.
Yeah, vinegar, apple cider. I put apple cider up in that. Whisk that together, put in some paprika, a little onion powder, a little garlic, a little salt and pepper to taste. That's pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, I made
What'd
some
you make,
baked
pork?
beans. Yeah, now here's where things went awry. All right, so I don't have the outdoor space for like a smoker.
Yeah.
But I did it in the oven. And normally I can nail just like kind of like a pulled pork in the oven, but I put it in too late last night. And so like I don't know if I messed up the
night.
I know. Well, how do you do it for the game? I got to wake up at 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it is 9 there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I put it in the evening. It was around 7. I'm thinking like I could get this, I could get this going. So I prepped it, put it in the oven. Then it's like I'm trying to go to bed and I'm watching this thing and I don't know. It didn't come out great. It didn't come out
Yeah.
great. Definitely nailed a pork
What cut
shoulder.
did you get? A pork? Oh, shoulder.
Pork
Okay.
shoulder.
Yeah,
Shoulder.
yeah. That's what you want.
Picnic.
Yeah, it just didn't come out great. But I made some mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese, made my roux,
Nice.
some Colby Jack, some
Nice.
white cheddar, some yellow cheddar.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
So that was going, had some baked beans, and I sauteed up some Brussels sprouts to boot. So
That sounds great.
all in all, it was a good plate. So that's what I did. Got back on this food menu train.
What
But
happened
that'll be
with the
last.
pork? A little dry, a little tough.
It was just tough, man. It didn't
Yeah, tough,
break
yeah.
apart. Yeah, I don't know. So what I did, and so I got the oven up to about 425. Put it for 3 hours. No, I put it in there for like a half an hour. Got it crisp around the edges. Then I pulled it out, covered it. Then I went down to I think it was like 250. Is that too high? I thought 250 was good.
No.
So I'm at 250, and then I couldn't stay awake. I had to make a business decision, and I pulled that.
You
bad
might
boy
maybe
out.
it'd even be better like if you did something like that again. Maybe it'd be better with like a crock pot.
Yeah, hindsight, I probably should have just tossed it in there. I mean, like I could have even gotten up at 4 and threw it in there and went back to bed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But that's what I did, boys. I thought it was good.
And if nobody knows, he's in California. So the
Yeah.
game, the 1:00 game is at what?
10.
12, 10. Yeah. So it's early, even to be eating.
Oh, man, I
pork
started
dinner.
it down at I started down at noon, dude. Just throwing it down.
Laura made chicken corn soup with
I
egg
should have
noodles.
rolled down and got some.
Ooh.
Dude, it was good. It burnt
That's
my tongue.
nice.
So it's so bad. My tongue, like I feel like somebody just put a fucking needle through it.
That's just a shot.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I ate because I like if anybody knows me, like if I'm eating pizza as soon as it's done, I'm just gonna eat it. I'm just gonna burn
right
my
out of the
mouth.
oven. Right out
I'm
of the
just
oven.
gonna burn my mouth, dude. I don't care because I'm hungry. So, yeah, my tongue is torched up. Then we did that, and then we went to the liquor store and got a couple bottles of Crown Blackberry.
Ooh. I think I tried. I think you gave me a little sniff of that.
Good, real
That's
good.
stuff. That's good
I don't like
stuff.
liquor
Man.
all that much, but it's one I kind of like.
And you have to get them while they have them because in Pennsylvania, you never know, right? Like they could be out.
Oh yeah. Pennsylvania's terrible,
Oh,
with it,
yeah.
but they had 40, I guess. So we went there.
Just buy all 40.
after the game. No, you can only get 2.
Oh, wow.
So
Man.
2 will last me for a fucking year and a half.
Yeah, that'll last. Man, chicken soup, it's cold over there, huh? So chicken soup's like
Oh.
the perfect meal.
Today was 60 degrees.
Yeah, it actually
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
bad today, but oh my gosh, all week long it's been frigid.
Oh, it's been terrible. The other
Man.
day it was blowing so hard with the wind. I
Oh.
was like, I can't even go outside. Dave wanted me to stop up at his house. I was like,
I'm not getting out of the car.
I'm scared to death to go outside, dude. I'm scared.
Yeah, I guess watching the game in Philly, yeah, you didn't. The weather was not much of a factor, so yeah, it was kind of a mild day.
No,
yeah. So,
no.
all right.
Yeah, so Jake Elliott sucks even more.
Yeah.
There's
They said it
zero
was
wind.
windy down there, but
I'm sure it was. Don't get me wrong, but
it's still that's shit that he's handled before. Like
Yeah,
I don't give
exactly.
anybody a pass on the wind, dude, unless it's like egregious where they're throwing it. There's been games where our quarterbacks were the quarterbacks on the field were throwing it and you can see the wind affecting the throw. At that point, I'm like, all right, it's probably going to fuck with you if you're kicking. But it wasn't doing that to the throws, so you don't get a pass, Jake. I'm sorry. Windy or not, you should be hitting these.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really I mean, look, there's going to be wind later in the season.
Mhm.
And,
For
and like
sure.
in the
Even
playoffs,
more.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, Elliot. Chicken Little. Might have to go write another book. The Downfall. The Downfall
Yeah.
Tour.
I might write that.
Just come out with a book.
Just trash his name.
Yeah, just looking at the stats too here quick. We had 292 total yards. They had 302. Passing yards, we had 83 to their 184.
Terrible.
Yeah, rushing yards 209 to their 118. Yards per play 5.2 to their 4.4. Yeah, so
Oh,
man,
there
that
was
84.
this
7
speaks on
penalties
that.
apiece.
Yeah.
Was it 70 or 7 each? Nice. I didn't think they got called that much. Anyhow, on that one that Hurts is rolling it out of the pocket, and instead of throwing it away, he just goes down for like a 9-yard loss.
Yes.
They asked him about that in the post game presser, and he said he didn't throw it away because the play was an RPO, and he was afraid a lineman would be downfield, and if he threw it out of bounds downfield, he was going to get penalized for it. So he took the sack
Interesting.
of 9 yards as opposed to taking a 5-yard penalty.
Jeez.
So
yeah,
I mean,
so
that's just,
the play would have been to throw it, yeah?
Yeah.
My
so
God.
even if he would have thrown that and there was a guy downfield, we would have still netted more yards off that play than when he just went down. And like at first I was thinking maybe it was the clock. Like, cause I was thinking about that play on my way home. I'm like, some of the shit I seen today, and that was one of the plays that came up in my head, and I was like, what? Was he worried about the clock staying running? Like, because I know we were trying to, like, at that point, clock was big. Like, we were trying to bleed the fuck out of the clock and just get out of there. But
Yeah.
that didn't make sense. And then they asked him about it in the presser, and that was his reasoning. And I was like, but you took a sack that would have netted less yards. Like, I don't know. It was, I don't know. His whole presser was kind of off. I don't know if you guys seen any of it. He was kind of standoffish. He kind of threw some people under the bus. Like hell, they were asking him about the passing game here. Let's see. I had a quote pulled up here.
Interesting about that. No.
Who's presser?
Jalen Hurts.
Sorry, yeah, I was running downstairs.
I do have a good CJ one. They asked him, he was like, "You're gonna have to kill me to get me off the field." But no,
I love that.
I love that.
I love
Jalen
that.
Hurts on managing getting AJ and Devontae Smith involved in the game. This is his exact quote. "I play my role in how we execute, but ultimately it's about the position we put ourselves in, but it's not my choice." What the hell does that mean?
Hmm.
Are you taking a shot at the play calling? Are you taking a shot that the guys aren't where they're supposed to be on the field? Is
The
that what
guys
the
are
issue
open,
was?
so
Yeah, they're
I'm
open.
gonna tell
Like,
you that.
yeah. So if they're not where
Huh.
they're supposed to be, they're still open, dude. And you're a quarterback whose job is to throw the football. You should be able to throw them open even if they're not in the spot. You're not throwing with anticipation, so it doesn't matter where they're at on the field. You know what I'm saying? This guy doesn't throw on time. He doesn't throw with anticipation. That's not his game. He holds the ball and waits for dudes to
Right
get
there.
open.
Gainwell's open, and you got fucking Dotson open in the end zone right there on that play.
Yeah, so people are open. I don't know what that means, but that's not good. And then to see, his body language at the podium wasn't great. His
Well, he
or
played
the
a shit
receivers,
game,
yeah,
so there's
the
no doubt about
receivers.
it.
I mean, AJ's face
Furious.
and body language was not great. He came off the field at one point and slammed his helmet, threw his helmet, I should say. So yeah, there's a lot of frustration. Hopefully this shit doesn't bleed over. Hopefully they can get this handled, and this culture
The only
is
way
as good
it
as we
doesn't
think.
bleed over. The only way it doesn't bleed over is with a Super Bowl. And without that, it's gonna be a nightmare, dude. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong about
AJ
that.
is sick of it. I promise you on that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we talked about this off mic before you hopped on, Clayton. Did you see AJ Brown's post game interview?
I just seen clips of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
They were talking like something like, what was the problem today? And he was like passing game or
Yeah.
something like that. Like, yeah, it's true. That was the issue today.
Yeah, but more so, yeah, like you said, he does not look happy.
No,
He
he
does
looked
not.
pissed. His body language was bad. You could see it in his face. He was pissed off that he had to answer these questions. Like he didn't want to be there. He wanted to get the hell out of that locker room. It looked like he just wanted to, get a shower and get the fuck out, go home. Fuck these guys.
Okay, so here's the thing though. So okay, they're frustrated. So as a coach, as coaches, as the offensive coordinator, as a head coach, like you have to harness that, right? Like we should be looking next week at like AJ Brown game. You know what I mean? Like he should go for what was it last time we played the Steelers? He had the 2 touchdowns, he had like 150 yards. Like
Oh,
that's
he
the type of
shit on
game
him,
that we
bro.
should expect. Like you have to harness that and you have to be like, you know what? I hear you, AJ. Like this is you. Like this is you. Like we're gonna get you involved. Like you're gonna go off. And that's what we should see next week. Otherwise,
I agree, but he sees a lot of like double. Like even though he might be in man, they got over top help on that. You know what I mean? So it's like
I'm not
if
worried
you're gonna
about that.
slant it up, I know you're not worried about that, but I'm just saying like what they're seeing is, he gets a lot of fucking attention.
Yeah.
And that's what he's paid for.
Well, then draw something up to get him open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you. Like I want AJ Brown's my favorite player. So I want him to get open and get the ball. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. God. This thing's falling apart, boys.
It's just hard to get him the ball. Although,
I mean, look, we talked
today
about it. He was wide open.
Today he's open. Yeah,
we
today
talked about it like
he's
open.
There's no doubt about it.
Okay, instead of going
dude,
to Calcaterra, get him the ball. Get AJ Brown the ball. Make him happy.
He's open for 2 touchdowns today.
Yeah,
That
and those
changes
should go
his
to your
fucking
star
mindset.
player.
Yeah, exactly. That changes his mindset all day.
That crosser that he's coming across that eventually goes
Both
to
of 'em.
Calcaterra.
Both of them.
That one should have 100. AJ flashed open first, and he's the inside leverage, so that's the guy you should be going to. He's wide open. Like I don't know what the hell Hurst is looking at and reading on that, but as your progression goes, obviously AJ is usually your number one. That's 9 times out of 10. I'm willing to bet in this offense, AJ is your first look. That's your first read. So if that's your first read and you see he has inside leverage, there's nobody really in the middle of the field, like linebacker wise, that's going to affect that throw. That's an easy throw. That's money, dude. That's all day.
Mind you, that was on a rookie cornerback who just came off the bench. Like Hurst should not be looking anywhere else.
Well, listen to this too. When you see that Calcaterra touchdown open up, it's way too late for Brown. So he's holding the ball. In my opinion, he's holding the ball way too late for that.
Yeah, and then
AJ's open right away.
Right away, yeah. That should have been the read. As soon as you see that inside leverage and there's nothing in the middle of the field, bam, you should have hit it.
Watch it back. I'm going to tell you right now, Calcaterra's open late, AJ Brown's open immediately.
And when you hold the ball and you go to the end zone like that, the longer that play takes to develop, the more risky it is that somebody's going to pick that ball off.
The other play is when Smitty gets the TD, AJ Brown is also open immediately. And they wait to throw it to fucking Smitty, which is fine. I'm happy for Smitty to get a TD, but again, you're making it harder than what it needs to be.
Yeah, right here, that play. He said it was an RPO, and rather than take the penalty, he took more sack yards than he would have on the penalty.
Yeah. Hurts had a shit game. There's
he did.
doubt about it.
And that's you're gonna have this stuff. Every quarterback has an off day.
I would be happier to see like him come into the presser and say, I played like shit.
He did. That was one thing that he was very.
Oh, he did
about.
Say that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He said he played bad.
I love that.
It said it all started with him. He did not execute well today. He didn't play well. He didn't play well enough today. So
I didn't see the presser at all. So
he took credit. A lot of the offense was on him, but he was also, I guess he got tired of getting bashed and started.
It's not my choice.
Saying some other shit, which I don't know. I don't know who you're shooting at there. If you're shooting at your receivers, or you're shooting at your coaches, or are you just talking shit to confuse the reporters? I don't know.
just confusing them. Just dropping little
Yeah.
tidbits. Just dropping little tidbits.
Yeah, it's a catchable ball there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you guys are positive on it. I got knocked down a peg in my expectations, but we'll see you next week. That'll be
Yeah.
I guess that'll be it.
Steelers
Test.
425. What are we
Ooh,
doing?
425.
Pittsburgh sandwiches.
Should I throw up
Pittsburgh
a
rare.
Permani's? No. Permani's, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be easy.
Are you doing some blue style steak?
Ooh. I don't know if I could get down with that.
Yeah. Nobody's getting down with that.
Just a Pittsburgh salad. Got the steak, got the
Yeah.
fries.
Yeah, yeah.
Pittsburgh
That was
coleslaw.
huge at Ted's. Huge at Ted's.
Or Pittsburgh slaw.
Really? What's the slaw?
Yeah, what was it? It wasn't like your normal like.
It's real
Coleslaw. Yeah, it was like-
vinegary.
yeah.
It
I
was
love
like,
vinegar. I would do that.
You used to have to
celery
make it, and I
seed.
forget. Yeah.
Celery seed, vinegar, kind of sweet. I feel, or maybe not sweet. I don't know.
It did have a sweet element to it, so I don't know what was put in there.
Yeah,
I'm
sugar.
sweaty.
Couple
Sugar, all right.
pierogies. Couple pierogies.
Oh, we used to fry up pierogies quite a bit.
I like some pierogies. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I can get down with that. That's a nice like cold meal. Cold
Mm.
pierogies. Man,
We used to sell Pittsburgh sandwich in Pittsburgh. Well, we were like a Steelers bar,
Yeah.
so
get some Iron City brew.
yeah.
It's Pittsburgh salad with the old raw as hell steak on the top.
Yeah, fuck that.
Just bleeding on your lettuce.
Dude, it's crazy. I had one guy like he sent it back twice. I was like, oh my god, dude. I'm not kidding you. I dropped it on the flat top, counted to 3, flipped it, counted to 3, and sent it out. And he was like, this is perfect. I was like, oh my god, dude.
Oh my-
Ask for a raw next time. I'll remember you. That way I don't have to fucking cook 3 steaks.
Oh yeah, that way. What are both of your guys' preferred temp on a steak?
Medium.
Medium rare actually. But
Yeah,
I can mess with medium too. I like medium just
I like medium, but I'll eat it medium rare if that's what it is.
yeah. I think if I'm cooking it myself, I go medium rare. But I guess at a restaurant, I might err on the side of medium, just because I
Yeah.
don't want the thing to come out and it's like bloody and like
Yeah. because some people don't know how to temp, medium rare. It comes out and it's like, man, this is definitely rare. Like it's still milk.
yeah. Man.
Laura's dad, he's like, I'm gonna cook you this deer loin. I
Ooh.
was like, all right, well, I'll try it. You always tell me about how good it is. I'm gonna try it. Fucking thing was
Was it good?
rare as can be. Rare as can be. Every time I took a bite, I had to like sip beer.
Ooh,
I
Oh,
was like, it's horrible.
God.
It's horrible. Horrible.
I've been there.
Ooh.
So
Well, boys, anything else from this this pseudo win, this quote unquote W?
nah, we need to
No.
get it together
Yeah, we need to be better.
for
We
next
need to
week,
wake up.
I'm just too negative right here. It's not the end of
Trap
the world.
game, kind of a trap game, but we need to be better, especially for the Steelers next week. They're a really good football team.
Yeah,
So
that's a legit opponent we're facing. I mean, they're still in the running to take the number 1 seed in the AFC. So I mean, they're going to come in motivated. Like us knocking off the Ravens helped them, but they got bigger aspirations. So it's not going to be a team coming in here phoning it in. They're going to come in here looking to lay the smackdown. So we better freaking wake up because we can't sleepwalk through this one.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know about you guys, but little Russ PTSD. He used to own the Eagles on the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's dangerous,
Yeah.
man.
there is something to be said about Chauncey Gardner coming back in after the concussion
yeah.
protocol, then getting hurt again, coming back.
And
It's like-
he was feeling it on the sideline,
Oh,
man. That
for
guy's
sure.
face, that was
For sure.
that was real pain right there, man. You don't make that face unless you're excruciating pain. And he was like flopping on the ground. Like I thought it was serious. It looked like they like spun over to Bryce Young and he was like praying. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah, I
dude.
saw that. I was like, this Bryce
Oh
Young
my
is
God,
playing
is this
every time
bad?
a player is injured.
And then they went to commercial forever. I was like, oh my god, they're carting him off, man. They're bringing the cart out.
They go to
No, he's
commercial.
right
We're like,
back out there. Like 3 fucking plays later, he's back out there. Crazy
Yeah, but that's
asshole.
huge. That's huge that he can get back in the game and not
Yes,
miss next week. I think that's the biggest. That's the
That's the
biggest
biggest
takeaway
thing.
from this
Yeah.
game.
because
yeah,
I tell you what. Then they were. I was listening to something on the way home. They were saying that people don't realize how big of a deal losing Reed Blankenship is because he's kind of a tone setter out there. And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. And you
Oh,
definitely see
100%.
you could see it today, and you could also see the
Yeah, yeah.
communication wasn't the same between the backs, and that's the first kink in their armor that I've seen all year, where I've been like, "Oh man, this doesn't look right. Doesn't look like we're used to seeing." So yeah, I mean that's a big deal. Thank God, hopefully both those boys will be able to go next week because they're fucking a big deal on the back end here, and just as tone setters.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, the NFL's got to really stop with this concussion protocol stuff. It's really bogging the game down. You know what I mean? Hot take. All right, guys, let's hop out of here.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're-
Go
sheesh,
Birds.
11-2.
Go Birds.
Go
9
Birds. We're
straight.
out here. Yeah,
9
biggest streak. One more win will break the history.
Yep.
That's kind of
And-
crazy to think about too. Like, right? Like,
Which
Yeah,
is
we
weird,
could-
yeah,
we could
because you
break-
think at 22, it felt like we just kept winning. I didn't know it was 17 that we actually set the 9 record or the 9 straight. I was thinking that happened in 22, but no. Or even last year, because we rattled off we were 10-1 to start. I don't know.
Right.
I was kind of surprised that it was 17 that set the record. But
I think they said Hurts had like 9 straight. This is his third 9 straight win.
impressive, man. I know
Yeah,
we're
tough.
super down on him, but motherfucker does win.
Yep.
yeah,
He's got to get better.
he does.
Got to get
Yeah.
better.
Yep. From
What-
today,
what-
yeah.
10% better. 10% better every.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this time I'm
please,
gonna need
please.
25 from this game. I need you to be 25%
Alright.
better.
30. You need 30% better.
All right, boys.
All right, fellas. Go Birds.
Birds. Go Birds.